Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
All right, welcome back to Bayou Time, and we have a great sports story here for you in the area. And I found out about this, I don't know, about 10 days or so ago, and I said, we got to get this young fella on Bayou Time because he has certainly earned his wings, so to speak. So I want to introduce our guest, if we can, closest to me, the young fella, 13-year-old, Donnie Lasseigne, who, by the way, has great manners. I was very glad to see that. And it's good to see, Donnie. Keep that up, all right? That'll get you far. All right, right next to him is Master Daniel Miller. He's Donnie's instructor. Good to have you on board also.
Oh, thank you.
And a very familiar face. We've seen him around for many, many years, either by working or by softball or by music. Dale Lasseigne is with us. And of course, he's the father. Good to see you, Dale.
Same here, Martin.
All right, so let me start off. I want to go to Master Miller first because I want you to set the tone for us here and how accomplished this young man is. But when I was growing up, it was karate. Right. Then it evolved into so many different names. Set us straight, educate me a little bit.
So karate and taekwondo are very similar. They both use a lot of kicking, some hand striking. They just come from different countries, So we're predominantly taekwondo. We've also incorporated some jiu-jitsu, which is very popular, and some kickboxing. So Tiger Rock is kind of a well-rounded martial arts. It's not just one style. It incorporates a few different styles.
Okay, so let's talk about Donnie. You've had a bunch of students, I'm sure, come through your class. How advanced is he at 13?
He excels very well. He's athletic, so that helps transition and learn different techniques and kicks. And then also he's focused on what he does. So he puts in the training hours and he performs very well, both on and off the mat.
What are we looking at right now? Is this, one of Donnie's matches?
Yeah, one of his sparring matches. And what they do is they go up to 7 points. The first one to reach 7 wins. Or whoever has the most points in 2 minutes will win that round. If they hit the body, they get 1 point. If they kick to the head, it's 2 points. So he won all of his matches. This was in Huntsville, Alabama, and he came out on top.
Donnie, before I get to you, I'm going to go to your dad, Dale. When did you see that he was interested in this kind of thing? Was this something you did?
Well, Martin, no, I was a boxer.
Okay.
And I boxed prior to the Marine Corps. Then I boxed a couple of years in the Marine Corps. So, but boxers are brutal. So I wanted more discipline with him. So I said, boxers go toward the fight. Taekwondo, karate, they want to get away from the fight if possible. So I said, you know what? I got to get him in something more disciplined. And so that's where Tiger Rock came in. And I decided I'll bring him there. And he's done well with it. Yeah,
we all watch Karate Kid, and what a great show, and all about discipline, and like you said, running away from the fight. But if you have to defend yourself, then you have the skills to do that.
Yes, sir.
Donnie, let me turn to you. When did you start sensing that this was something you like to do?
Around 9 years old, when I was in school, kind of little bullies, I guess. And I was like, also what he said, like, boxing, karate, go away from the fight just to protect myself.
Yeah. So in today's world, I know what it was like when me and your dad were growing up. They had bullies everywhere you go, and they still have bullies. But sometimes the bullies, they learn down the line that it doesn't pay to be a bully, and they grow up a little bit. But what about discipline? That when you started taking classes with your instructor right next to you, what did that do for everything in your life?
It got me I focused more. I learned how to talk, to when to talk and not to talk. Just different things like that.
And I also like the way you're looking at me when I'm talking to you. eye contact. Did your dad teach you that, or did that come from the instructor, or both?
Both.
Yeah, I know your dad, coming from his military background, you're going to make sure they got eye contact, right?
Yes, sir. All my kids, man, they got to be a gentleman or a young lady. You have to have discipline.
There you go. All right, so Donnie, what did you bring home? Because you participated in a lot. Y'all took home gold in form, sparring, inboard breaking, and in-player two-sparring. Before I ask you, what does all that mean?
So forms, you have a sequence of movements to demonstrate based on your skill level, and they judge you based on power, timing, accuracy, things like that, control. Sparring, you're pretty much fighting for points. The board breaking, you have to break 4 boards within a certain time limit. And then player 2 sparring is you have a big heavy bag with a bunch of dots on it, and every time you hit a dot, you get points. He hits the dots, he gets points. Different levels of height is different, worth different points.
So accuracy.
Accuracy, yep.
Yeah, you got it, because if you're in battle, you got to land it.
Right.
If you miss, it does you no good, right? Okay, so how hard is it to break those boards, really?
So the boards are based on their age. Each board is, set up for the age requirement. So, 5 and 6-year-olds would be really easy, right? And then it goes up from there. But it's based on his, his height, his age, his size. But no, it takes a lot of force, to break the board. So you really have to put in, a lot of effort to break those boards.
Because it's about confidence too, right?
Right.
When you get, I guess when you're 5 and 6 and you're trying to break a board, if you keep hitting it and it doesn't break, you may go home and go, I'm done with that, but
Right.
So you got to progress them to where they're really breaking the stuff that they're supposed to be breaking. Let's do this. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a lot more with Donnie, and we're going to talk about what he brought home. And tell you what, this is good stuff. Bringing home the goal, right?
Sure.
All right. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, welcome back. Martin Falls here, and I'm with, right next to me, Donnie Lasseigne. We're going to talk with him in a second because he's a multi-sport athlete. We're going to talk about that a little bit and the discipline that it takes to do that. And of course, Master Daniel Miller is Donnie Lassaigne's instructor. And of course, Dale Lasseigne on the end, musician, former boxer. You see on his shirt, Marine Corps. That's important. And he's done quite a bit here and there. Also was a good athlete, too. So played softball, gets your teams many. Y'all had some good softball teams.
We had some good teams.
There's no doubt about it, for sure. All right, so Donnie, to get to this level at 13, and also you got to stay grounded because you're only 13. You got a long ways to go. But the future looks bright, especially at 13. You come across really grounded. But the preparation for this, you don't just go over there and win these medals. What does it take?
You have to practice daily. You have to have dedication to it. You can't just practice a lot one day, then tomorrow do nothing.
You got to keep going at it, huh?
Yes, sir.
And how many hours do you practice a day?
Around 30 minutes.
Yeah. But you have a concise, your instructor probably gives you certain things you got to do, and you got to make sure you do them?
Tips, pointers.
Yeah. How does he know that you're doing what he told you to do?
He doesn't. He
The
just-
amount of medals, right? If you
yeah.
do it, he could probably, let me go to the instructor. You can tell when a student's not doing what you give him for homework, right?
Right, right. We want students to be coachable. That's the big thing, is that they listen to the advice we give them and they implement it, on the training floor. And, we'll give him little pointers. He'll go and use it. And, if it works, he'll keep going at it. And if it doesn't, a lot of it's trial and error, If it works for him, good. And if not, we'll change up the strategy. But he's very coachable. He listens to guidance, and he implements it, when it comes time to train.
Very good. Now, Donnie, what other sports do you play?
I do baseball, basketball, swim, and boxing. I swim for the school, and I do basketball for the school also. I'm trying out this year. And then baseball too.
Guard or forward in basketball?
Guard.
All right. Yeah, you can handle the ball pretty good. All right. What about baseball? What position?
I play second base, shortstop. I pitch sometimes. I bat left-handed. I throw right.
Really? So you're ambidextrous.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any future maybe batting both ways?
I mean, I don't really do it. Sometimes when I'm at practice, I mess around and do it, but I have a little more power right-handed, but my batting eye is kind of worse right-handed. So I hit left with contact better.
Yeah. So your dominant eye, you know where it is. Yeah. That's pretty good, Dale, that he knows that at 13. When we were 13, we just got up there and hoped we saw the baseball, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yes, indeed. Do you watch him when he's practicing, and how involved are you with all that?
Martin, he's been doing this about 4 years. And I can say honestly, probably until the last couple months, for 4 years, every day, he practices 20 to 30 minutes. Now, sometimes it may be just 1, 2, 3 times, 2, 3 minutes, going to the restroom, he's out there doing his form. So he's getting some in. He's staying focused.
Yeah. Let me ask Master Miller, doesn't it sort of give you kudos too when your students go out there and they come back with the hardware?
Definitely.
That's a reflection on you, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I've trained for many years. I've done competitions, and now I'm rewarded when the students do well, because when they do well, I feel like I earn that as well. Donnie's exceptional. It's almost natural to him. We have a few hotshot students, and he's one of those, top dogs in the school. And we hope that he continues that training, and there's still so much potential for him. To grow in this style of training.
The instructor just called you a top dog. That's like being Top Gun when you're in those fighter jets, right? But with that said, got to stay grounded. I know your dad, and I know your parents want you to stay grounded. In other words, don't get all swell-headed because you're bringing it home. How do you stay grounded?
I fight my brothers.
Yeah. So they sort of keep you in check?
6'4", and 6'2".
Well,
So it's a little hard to get up there and fight with them.
what else? But they keep you grounded, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so don't get too smart around them because they'll drop you down a notch, right?
They'll give you a smack on the head.
In a good way, right? All right. Well, Dale, I know you're proud, huh?
I am. He's really exceeded his goals, and Master Miller actually put him to the next level.
That's fantastic.
So I appreciate that big time.
So what's next, Master Miller?
Well, he can keep ranking up. He can keep going to tournaments, and kind of maintain that gold medal status. There's always going to be a challenge, So, he's doing really well right now, but, there's always going to be someone who's going to beat him. So we're just going to keep training harder and harder so he can, continue to maintain that type of excellence he wants to stay at.
Well, we're going to be keeping an eye on Donnie. We're going to see how you progress. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Get you some more TV time, right?
Hopefully.
All right, there you go. I want to thank y'all all for coming on today and sharing your story with us. And they'll keep them rolling. We need content on TV, so he could be a good one, right?
We'll do it. We'll do it, Martin. Thanks for having us.
And thanks for your service, too.
Well, thank you.
As always. There you have it. All right, gang. Good news story, good sports story right here out of the area. And we appreciate Donnie doing that and coming on board. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have a lot more here on HTV. Don't forget, watch us on Facebook. You can go to HTV10 Facebook and HTV10 YouTube and catch all that we do here. We'll be back.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.